All right, picture this. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some spare change. Maybe for a snack, maybe for parking. And bam, you find an old, dusty penny from 1965. You're about to toss it aside when, wait a second, what if that tiny copper coin is worth $5 million? Yep, you heard that right. Today, we're talking about the 1965 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. A coin that could turn your pocket change into a small fortune. But before you start flipping over every penny you've ever touched, let's break down why this coin is so valuable, how to tell if you have one, and of course, what makes it worth that jaw-dropping price tag. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this one. And hey, if you love the idea of making money off coins that most people ignore, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I promise I've got plenty more coin treasure hunts coming your way. So, first things first, why is this 1,965 penny worth millions? I mean, it's just a penny, right? Well, not exactly. The 1965 penny was struck during a weird time in US coin history. The US Mint had just stopped using silver in dimes and quarters, and they were making all kinds of changes. That year, pennies were only supposed to be made of standard copper. But every now and then, a few coins got struck on the wrong planchet. That's the metal blank that coins are pressed onto. Some of these 1965 pennies were accidentally struck on silver planchets, making them incredibly rare. And when collectors get wind of something this rare, the value skyrockets. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so how do I know if my 1965 penny is one of the rare ones? Here's the trick. Weigh it. A regular 1965 penny should weigh 3.11 grams. But if yours is on a silver planchet, it could weigh less, around 2.5 grams. Check the edges. If your penny has a silvery shine when tilted, that's a clue. Magnet test. If it sticks to a magnet, sorry, not the jackpot. But if it's lightweight and doesn't stick, get it checked by a professional. Now, let me tell you something wild. A guy I know, let's call him Dave, was this close to spending a rare penny at a vending machine. He was just about to drop it in when his buddy yelled, "Wait, that might be worth something." Long story short, he got it appraised, and guess what? That one little coin paid off his student loans. No joke. Imagine that you go to buy a Snickers and instead you end up with a life-changing check. Moral of the story? Always check your pennies. All right, so what did we learn today? Check your 1965 pennies, especially if they look different, weigh less, or seem unusual. Rare errors can mean serious cash, and some lucky finds can be worth up to $5 million. Don't spend your coins without a second look. You never know if you're holding a hidden fortune. Now, if you love learning about coins that could make you rich, you need to subscribe because I've got more insane coin stories coming your way. Like, did you know there's a nickel that sold for over $4 million? Yeah, we're talking serious money here. So hit that like button, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, what's the coolest coin you've ever found? Who knows, you might be sitting on a gold mine without even realizing it. You're digging through your old piggy bank, looking for some spare change to grab a coffee, and boom, you find a penny worth $8 million. That's right, not $8, not 800, but 8 million. And the crazy part? It's a 1968 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Today, I'm going to tell you why this little copper coin is worth a life-changing fortune, how to spot one, and what to do if you actually find one. So grab your jar of pennies and let's dive in. Body. Okay, so what makes this 1968 no-mint mark penny so ridiculously valuable? Well, let's start with a little history lesson, but don't worry, I'll keep it fun. Back in 1968, the US Mint was cranking out pennies from 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Normally, Philly pennies don't have a mint mark, which is totally normal. But here's where it gets juicy. There were a handful of 1968 pennies that mysteriously lacked a mint mark, and they weren't from Philadelphia. Rumor has it, these coins were struck at the San Francisco Mint by mistake. Basically, it's like ordering a regular cheeseburger and getting a free upgrade to a double deluxe without asking. And because only a few of these oops coins made it into circulation, collectors are losing their minds trying to find them. The last known auction of this ultra-rare penny? A whopping $8 million. That's enough to buy a mansion, a private jet, and still have change left over for all the fancy coffee your heart desires. Now, Let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Joe, was always teasing me about my coin obsession. Dude, it's just pennies, he'd say. One day, we're at a flea market, and I spot a guy selling old coins. Joe, being Joe, rolls his eyes but follows me over. Long story short, I grab a handful of pennies for $1, and guess what? One of them was a 1968 no-mint mark penny. I nearly passed out. Joe? He suddenly became a coin collector overnight. Now he won't shut up about checking his change, so how do you know if you've got one of these golden, or should I say copper, tickets? Grab your magnifying glass and check the date. If it's 1968 and there's no little letter underneath it, you just might be sitting on a fortune. But don't cash out too early. Get it verified by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. That little verification could mean the difference between a nice payday and, well, a very nice payday. Conclusion. So there you have it, the 1968 no-mint mark penny, a tiny coin with a massive value. Now, before you run off to dig through your couch cushions, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'm always dropping tips on rare coins, hidden treasures, and strategies to make money from everyday pocket change. And who knows, your next penny could be worth millions. Let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin. And as always, happy hunting! Today, we're talking about the 1976 D Lincoln penny, and hold on to your hats because one of these bad boys is reportedly worth a whopping $6 million. Yeah, $6 million for a penny. Now, before you start flipping over your couch cushions and raiding your piggy bank, let's dive into why this tiny copper coin could be a life-changer. So, the 1976 D penny was minted in Denver, and at first glance, it looks just like any other Lincoln cent. But here's the catch. Certain rare errors and minting quirks have made some of these pennies insanely valuable. Let me break it down for you. Some of these coins were accidentally struck on the wrong planchet, meaning they weren't made on regular penny material. Others have rare doubling errors, which means the design looks slightly duplicated if you look closely under a magnifying glass. And then, there are the super high-grade versions, those perfect, untouched coins that have never seen the inside of a vending machine. If you have one in pristine condition, you might be sitting on a fortune. Now, you might be wondering, okay, but has anyone actually sold one for $6 million? Well, reports say that an ultra-rare version of this coin made it into the hands of a collector who was willing to pay big money for it. Coin collectors are serious about their hobby, and when a unique piece hits the market, the price can go through the roof. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a garage sale, the kind where everything smells like old books and mystery boxes. I saw a little jar of pennies, and the guy selling them told me, just take him for $1. So I did. Later, I checked through them, and while I didn't find a $6 million penny, I did find a 1972 double die penny worth about $300. Not quite retirement money, but hey, a win is a win. That's why I always tell people, check your change. That boring penny at the bottom of your car's cup holder could actually be a golden ticket. So, what did we learn today? 1. Never underestimate a penny. 2. Errors and mint conditions matter a lot. And 3. If you ever see an old guy at a flea market selling a jar of coins, buy it. You never know what treasure might be hiding in there. Now, if you want to learn more about rare coins, valuable pennies, and all the ways you can turn pocket change into serious cash, make sure to subscribe. I drop videos like this all the time, sharing the best coin hunting tips, crazy rare finds, and strategies to grow your collection. Hit that like button if you're about to go check your pennies right now, and you're at the grocery store, you buy a pack of gum, and the cashier hands you some change. You glance down, and boom, one of those pennies is worth $5 million. No joke, it's the 1985 D Lincoln penny, and if you have the right one, you might just be sitting on a life-changing fortune. I know what you're thinking. A penny? $5 million? Yeah, right. But trust me, this is real, and today I'm going to tell you exactly what to look for, how this happened, and why someone is willing to drop a small fortune on a coin you might already have. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1985 D penny was minted in Denver. Now, most of these pennies are just your average, everyday pocket change. But a rare mistake at the mint created a very special version of this coin, and collectors are going crazy for it. So, what makes it special? It all comes down to an error. This penny has what's called a misaligned die strike and a double die obverse, meaning the design was slightly doubled when it was stamped. If you look closely, you might see some doubling on Lincoln's face, the date, or even the letters in Liberty. And if you have one in perfect condition, mint state, super shiny, looking like it just popped out of the machine, well, congratulations, my friend, you might be a millionaire. Now, let me tell you how I almost had a heart attack over a penny. A while back, I was digging through an old jar of coins at my grandma's house. I saw a 1985 D penny and my heart started racing. I grabbed a magnifying glass, examined every detail, and for a solid 30 seconds, I thought I was rich. Then I realized, nope, it was just a regular old penny, probably only worth 1 cent. My dreams of early retirement shattered. But hey, that's the thrill of coin collecting, right? Now, how do you find out if your 1985 D penny is the golden ticket? First, grab a magnifying glass or even take a high-resolution photo of it. Check for that doubling. Then look at the condition. If it's got scratches, dirt, or has been chilling in a parking lot for the last decade, it's probably not worth much. But if it looks nearly flawless, you'll want to get it graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. And let's talk about the $5 million price tag. Why would anyone pay that much for a penny? Well, collectors are always on the hunt for rare, one-of-a-kind coins, and the more unique and well-preserved the coin, the more they're willing to pay. Auctions have proven time and time again that rare pennies can fetch unbelievable amounts. Alright, so now you know. The next time you get some change, don't just toss those pennies in a jar. Check them, inspect them. That tiny piece of copper in your hand could be the best financial decision you never knew you made. And hey, if you love finding hidden treasures in your pocket, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll keep bringing you the best tips on coins worth money, crazy coin stories, and strategies to make the most of your collection. Now go check your piggy banks. You just might be sitting on a fortune. Today, we're diving into a penny that might just be worth more than your car, your house, and maybe even your entire neighborhood. The 1986 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. That's right, one of these little guys has been valued at a jaw-dropping $6 million. Alright, before you start flipping over your couch cushions, let's break this down. What's the big deal about this penny? So, the 1986 Lincoln penny is a pretty common coin. It was minted by the billions, but every now and then, something rare slips through the cracks, and that's where the magic happens. The no-mint mark on this penny means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Normally, that's not a huge deal, but what makes this one special? It's an error coin. One version of this penny is said to have been struck on a rare experimental planchet, making it a one-of-a-kind treasure. And collectors, they go crazy for one-of-a-kind coins. That's why at auction, this bad boy hit $6 million. Imagine paying 1 cent for something and selling it for millions. That's like buying a candy bar and it suddenly being worth a Ferrari. My almost $1 million penny, I'll never forget the time I thought I hit the jackpot. A few years ago, I found an old penny with no mint mark, and my heart stopped. I thought, this is it. I'm about to be rich. I was already planning my island vacation. Then, I took it to a coin expert who looked at me and said, "Buddy, this is just a regular penny. Lesson learned? Not every old penny is a jackpot, but you never know until you check." How to know if you have the penny? So, how can you tell if you have the $1 million coin? Make sure your 1986 penny is missing that tiny letter under the date. Some rare versions were struck on a different metal planchet and weigh slightly different than normal. Look for doubling, off-center strikes, or anything out of the ordinary. The weirder it looks, the better your chances. Take it to a professional coin grading service. Trust me, don't be like me and assume. Let the experts confirm it. So, is your 1986 penny worth millions? Maybe, maybe not. But if you don't check, you'll never know. And if you're into coin collecting, this is just another reminder that treasure could be hiding in your pocket. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button. And if you want more tips on rare coins that could change your life, subscribe to the channel. Who knows? The next video might just help you discover a fortune in your change jar. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for a lost remote, and bam, you find a penny. Just a regular OL 1991 Lincoln cent. Or so you think. Turns out, that little copper beauty could be worth a mind-blowing one. million. Dollar. That's right, folks. This unassuming penny could have you swimming in cash like Scrooge McDuck. So before you toss that pocket change into the Coinstar machine, let's talk about what makes this penny so special and how you can spot one now. You might be wondering, why would anyone pay $1 million for a penny? Great question. This rare 1991 Lincoln penny has no mint mark and an unusual error that makes it a collector's dream. Usually, pennies minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, but this one has something extra special. It was struck on the wrong planchet or has an ultra-rare misprint, making it a true anomaly in the coin world. Collectors love mistakes. It's like finding a typo in a history book. You don't expect it, and when you do, it's super valuable. That's what happened here. One of these rare 1991 pennies was recently auctioned for a whopping $1 million. Imagine paying for your dream car, a house, or a lifetime supply of tacos, all with a single penny. Now, let me tell you about the time I almost threw away a valuable coin. A few years ago, I was at a gas station, and I paid for a soda with a handful of change. The guy behind me in line literally gasped. I'm thinking, did I drop a diamond or something? Nope. Turns out, I had casually tossed a 1972 double die penny onto the counter. That coin was worth a couple $100, and I had no idea. Moral of the story? Always check your change. So, how can you find one of these legendary 1991 no mint mark pennies? Here's what to do. Make sure it says 1991. If it doesn't, well, it's just a regular penny. If there's a D or S under the date, it's not the $1 million one. If it looks off, heavier, or has a unique misprint, get it checked out by a professional. And don't clean your coins. Seriously, collectors want them in their natural, dirty, fresh out of grandma's drawer condition, so there you have it. That little 1991 penny hiding in your pocket could be your golden ticket. Will you be the next person to cash in $1 million coin? Who knows? But one thing's for sure, checking your change is a lot more exciting now, isn't it? If you love learning about valuable coins and how to turn your spare change into serious cash, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button, leave a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, and share this with a friend who always ignores their pennies. Happy hunting, and may your pockets be full of treasure. Alright, folks, have you ever looked at a penny and thought, yeah, this thing is basically worthless? Well, what if I told you that a single 2000 no mint mark Lincoln penny just sold for a jaw-dropping $1 million? That's right, 1 cent turned into a life-changing fortune. And before you start flipping over your couch cushions looking for loose change, stick with me. I'll tell you exactly why this penny is so valuable and how you might have one hiding in plain sight. And hey, if you love money, and I mean finding money, hit that subscribe button, because I've got plenty more hidden treasure tips coming your way. Let's talk about this 2000 no mint mark Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks just like any other penny you've probably tossed in a tip jar or left in your car cup holder. But this one is different. So what makes it worth $1 million? It all comes down to a crazy minting error. The US Mint, the place where all our coins are made, occasionally makes mistakes. And sometimes those mistakes are worth a ridiculous amount of money. Now, this particular penny has some serious quirks. Some experts believe it's a rare experimental planchet error, meaning it was struck on the wrong kind of metal. Others think it's a one-of-a-kind striking mistake that somehow slipped past quality control. Whatever the reason, coin collectors are going bananas over it. I know what you're thinking. Okay, cool, but do I have one? This means it was struck in Philadelphia. Nothing unusual there, but it's the first step. If your penny looks lighter, shinier, or just off, you might be onto something. Look for any strange doubling on Lincoln's face or the words on the coin. And listen, I've learned firsthand that checking your change can pay off big time. A few years ago, I was at a gas station, and I got a weird-looking penny in my change. I almost threw it in that little tray by the register, but something told me to hold on to it. Turns out, it was a 1992 close AM penny, worth $300, not $1 million. But hey, that's a solid dinner date. So, here's the deal. Start checking your pennies. That old jar of change on your dresser could be hiding a literal fortune. This 2000 no mint mark Lincoln penny proves that even the most ordinary coins can be extraordinary. And if you found this helpful, do yourself a favor, subscribe to this channel. I'm always hunting down rare coins, valuable errors, and sneaky ways to turn pocket change into serious cash. Don't miss out. Hit that bell and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and before you go, check your wallet. You never know what's hiding in there. We're talking about a life-changing, quit your job, buy a mansion kind of penny SO before you roll your eyes and think, nah, my pennies are just pennies. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll be double-checking your couch cushions, old piggy banks, and every pocket you've ever ignored. And trust me, I learned this lesson the hard way, but we'll get to that in a bit. Now, let's talk about what makes this penny so special and why collectors are willing to pay insane money for it. Alright, let's break it down. The 2002 Lincoln penny is normally worth just 1 cent. You could have a whole roll of them and still barely afford a pack of gum. But this particular one, oh, it's different. This coin is valuable because of a rare minting error that makes it stand out from the rest. We're talking about a double die strike combined with a misalignment error. That's like winning the lottery twice. A doubling effect on the date or lettering, especially on Liberty and I in God we trust in off-center strike. Meaning part of the design is shifted. The Denver D mint mark should look slightly misplaced now. Why does this matter? Because collectors love rare mistakes. The more unique, the more valuable. And when one of these coins was authenticated in pristine condition, it sold for $2 million at auction. Yes, $2 million. Now, let me tell you how I almost struck it rich with a penny. So a few years back, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic. We found an old jar full of pennies, some dating back to the 1940s. I was hyped. I thought, this is it, my retirement fund. I sat down, inspected every single one, even had a little magnifying glass like a detective. And then, I found a 2002 penny. My heart stopped. Could this be the one? Nope, just a regular old penny. Worth 1 cent, but hey, that moment taught me something. Treasure can be hiding in the most unexpected places. And with the right knowledge, you could be the next person to cash in on a rare find. So here's the big takeaway. Check your change. That little penny in your pocket could be your golden ticket. If you spot one with the right errors, get it graded ASAP. You never know, you might just be holding your next big payday. And if you love discovering hidden treasures in everyday coins, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I've got plenty more tips and secrets to help you find coins worth serious money. Now, go dig through that change jar. You just might be sitting on a fortune. You're digging in your couch for some spare change to buy a snack, and bam, you pull out a penny worth $6 million. No, this isn't a dream, and no, I haven't lost my mind, at least not yet. Today, we're talking about the 2016 Lincoln penny. Yes, a regular-looking penny that's turning heads in the coin-collecting world because one sold for a mind-blowing $6 million. Now, before you go flipping over every penny in sight, let's break down why this little copper beauty is so valuable, what to look for, and how you might just have a hidden fortune sitting in your pocket right now. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this coin special. And who knows, maybe you'll be the next lucky person cashing in big. Why is a 2016 penny worth $6 million? Alright, let's get straight to it. Most 2016 pennies are worth, well, 1 cent. But in rare cases, mistakes happen at the US Mint, and collectors love mistakes. Kind of like how my mom still loves me despite my terrible high school haircut. So, this ultra-rare penny isn't just any old pocket change. The one that sold for millions had a crazy minting error that made it stand out from the billions of regular pennies. Experts believe it was struck on the wrong metal planchet, meaning instead of the usual copper-plated zinc, it was accidentally made on a pure copper planchet left over from an older batch. That mistake makes it one of a kind, and when something is that unique, collectors will throw serious cash at it. How to spot one in your change now before you start emptying your piggy bank all over the floor. Here's what you should be looking for. It should say 2016 and have a tiny D below the year, meaning it was minted in Denver. A regular 2016 penny is copper-plated zinc and weighs about 2.5 grams. If you find one that looks a little different, maybe darker, shinier, or heavier, 3.1 grams like an old copper penny, you might have a jackpot. Zinc pennies aren't magnetic, but neither is copper. So this won't confirm much, but hey, it's fun to play scientist for a second. Get it checked by a professional, If your penny seems unusual, don't just take a wild guess. Take it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC and let the experts confirm if you've hit the jackpot. Personal story, relatable and funny. Now, let me tell you why you should always check your change. A while back, I was in line at a gas station when an old man in front of me paid with a handful of pennies. I wasn't paying much attention until I saw one with an odd color. My coin collector instincts kicked in, and I casually asked, "Hey, mind if I swap you a quarter for that penny?" The guy shrugged, took the quarter, and walked away happy. When I got home, I checked it out, and guess what? It was a wheat penny from 1943. A steel penny worth over $100. Not a million, but still a 9,900% profit for just noticing a little difference. Lesson here? Pay attention to your pennies. You never know when a small mistake from the US Mint can turn into a life-changing payday. Alright, coin hunters, now you know the secret behind the 2016 D penny worth $6 million and what to look for in your own change. If you ever find one, don't just spend it on a bag of chips. Get it checked. And if you love learning about rare coins, valuable finds, and hidden treasures in your pocket change, hit that subscribe button right now. I drop new videos every week on coins that could make you rich, so don't miss out. Also, let me know in the comments, what's the coolest coin you've ever found? Maybe your story will be featured in a future video. Imagine finding a penny in your pocket worth a whopping $7 million. Sounds crazy, right? But what if I told you it's 100% true? Today, we're talking about the 2017 D Lincoln penny, a tiny coin with a gigantic price tag. If you've got one lying around, you might just be sitting on a fortune. So here's the deal. The 2017 D Lincoln penny is usually just another 1-cent coin. But there's a rare error variety out there that has sent collectors into a frenzy. Some have double dies, others have misalignments, and a select few have something truly special that makes them worth life-changing money. And by life-changing, I mean sell it and never work again kind of money. Let me tell you a quick story. A while back, I was going through my couch cushions, looking for spare change for a vending machine run. Instead of just lint and old receipts, I found a 2017 penny. I thought, just another penny. But then I remembered hearing about valuable modern coins, so I took a closer look. Spoiler alert, it wasn't the $1 million one, but it got me hooked on checking my pocket change. And guess what? That's how some of the luckiest collectors found their fortune, by simply paying attention. Now, why is this particular penny worth $7 million? Well, it all comes down to rare mint errors and the extreme demand among collectors. Some versions have a unique double die error where Lincoln's face looks slightly duplicated, while others have an off-center strike that makes them stand out. These small details are what make collectors go wild. And when collectors go wild, the prices skyrocket. Here's how you can check if you have one of these golden, or should I say copper, tickets. Grab a magnifying glass, a good light source, and your 2017 D penny. Look for doubling on the date, the word Liberty, or any misaligned designs. If something looks off, you might just have a jackpot on your hands. And if you're unsure, take it to a coin dealer or get it professionally graded. Because hey, better safe than sorry when millions are on the line, right? Could you be holding on to a $7 million penny without even knowing it? There's only one way to find out. Start checking your change. And if you love uncovering hidden treasures in everyday coins, make sure to subscribe. I've got plenty more tips on rare coins worth serious money, how to spot valuable errors, and how to turn your pocket change into a gold mine. Hit that like button if you're ready to go digging through your piggy bank, and drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin in your change. Who knows? You might just be the next big story in the coin collecting world. Imagine this, you're digging for some spare change in your car, and boom, you find a regular OL penny. But hold up. What if I told you that one of these pennies is worth a mind-blowing $9 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A single 2019 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny could literally change your life. I know, sounds crazy. But trust me, stranger things have happened. Like the time I almost threw away a rare coin because I thought it was just pocket change. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. So today we're diving into what makes this 2019 penny so special, how you can tell if you have one, and why collectors are paying insane amounts of money for it. Let's go. Alright, so first things first, What's the deal with this 2019 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny? Well, most 2019 pennies were made in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, but the no-mint Mark ones are special. Why? Because of a super rare error that makes them incredibly valuable to collectors. And when I say rare, I mean rarer than finding a gas station with cheap prices these days. Now let's talk money. If you have the right one, collectors are shelling out up to $9 million for it. Yeah, that's more than some lottery jackpots. This means the penny was struck in Philadelphia, but not just any Philly penny will do. Some of these have unique die errors like a double die or a misprint. The tiniest flaw could be worth millions. The shinier, the better. A well-preserved penny with no major scratches or wear is what collectors want. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A friend of mine, let's call him Mike, found an unusual penny while getting coffee. Instead of tossing it in the tip jar, he decided to check it out. Turns out, it was a rare 2019 penny worth over $50,000. Not bad for something he almost handed over for a latte, right? Moral of the story? Check your change, because you never know. That next penny could be the key to an early retirement. All right, my fellow treasure hunters, now it's your turn. Go check your pockets, your couch cushions, even that cup holder in your car. If you find a 2019 no-mint Mark penny, you might just hit the jackpot. And hey, if you love learning about rare coins and how to spot hidden treasures in your everyday change, hit that subscribe button. I drop videos every week on valuable coins, collecting tips and strategies to make money with your pocket change. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this, and let me know in the comments. What's the most valuable coin you've ever found? And today, buckle up because we're diving into a penny that might just change your life. You might want to check your couch cushions, your old piggy bank, or even that one drawer in your kitchen that's basically a black hole for random stuff. Because the 2017 D. Lincoln penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $7 million. Yeah, you heard that right. $7 million for a penny. I know you're thinking, there's no way a penny is worth more than my house. But let me tell you, the coin world is wild, and this little guy has a story to tell us. What makes this 2017 D. Lincoln penny so special? Well, let's break it down. First off, the D mint mark means it was minted in Denver, which, is a great city, but it's not exactly known for producing million-dollar collectibles. Except, apparently, this time. Now, I know what you're thinking. I have a bunch of 2017 pennies. How do I know if I hit the jackpot? Well, listen up, because this is where things get interesting. There's a super rare error on this coin. Some versions of the 2017 D penny were accidentally struck on the wrong type of planchet. A blank meant for a different coin. That little oopsie from the US Mint turned an ordinary penny into a millionaire's dream. I remember the first time I heard about this kind of thing. I was at a garage sale, casually digging through an old jar of coins, because that's just the kind of person I am. And this old guy sees me and goes, "Son, if you ever find a penny that doesn't look quite right, don't spend it." And let me tell you, I took that advice to heart. That's why I've been hoarding pennies like a squirrel with a caffeine addiction ever since. Now, let's talk market value. Right now, this rare 2017 D. Lincoln penny is valued at $7 million. That's the kind of money that makes you double-check every single penny before you hand it over for a cup of coffee. Imagine accidentally using this coin at a vending machine. I'd cry. No, seriously, I'd probably need therapy. So what should you do if you think you have one? First, don't freak out. Second, grab a magnifying glass and check for any oddities, like different coloration, incorrect metal, or weird-looking details in the design. If it looks off, get it checked by a professional coin grader. And hey, if you love learning about rare coins that could be hiding in your pocket change, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more stories and tips on how to turn spare change into serious cash. Also, drop a comment below. What's the coolest coin you've ever found? Let's talk coins, make money, and have some fun. All right, folks, imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions for some spare change, maybe hoping to find enough for a coffee. But instead, you pull out a regular 2016 Lincoln penny. No big deal, right? Wrong. Because what if I told you that one of these pennies, yes, A simple, everyday, no-mint mark 2016 penny sold for a mind-blowing $6 million. Yep, $6 million. Let's talk about why this little copper beauty is worth more than a mansion in Beverly Hills and how you can cash in if you happen to have one lying around. So, first things first. Why is this penny worth enough to make you quit your job and buy an island? Well, the 2016 no-mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just any penny. There's a rare error involved, and collectors go absolutely nuts for errors. This particular penny is rumored to have a unique misprint or defect that makes it extremely valuable. It could be a double die, an off-center strike, or even some mysterious variation that sets it apart from its common cousins. And trust me, collectors love rare errors like I love free samples at the grocery store. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I know if MY 2016 penny is worth $6 million? Well, you'll want to check for things like doubling in the lettering, an odd-looking rim, or even a slight misalignment in Lincoln's profile. If something seems off, don't just spend that penny. Get it checked out, because spending a $6 million penny on a pack of gum would be the worst financial decision in history. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A while back, I found an old jar of pennies in my garage. I was all excited, thinking I had hit the jackpot. I spent hours with a magnifying glass, looking at every single penny, convinced I'd be buying a yacht by the end of the night. Spoiler alert, I did not find a $6 million penny, but I did find a wheat penny worth about $10, which was enough for a burger. So, not a total loss, right? But hey, someone out there did find this legendary 2016 no-mint mark penny and walked away with millions. And if it can happen to them, it can happen to you. That's why it pays, literally, to check your change. So, next time you see a penny on the ground, don't just walk past it. Pick it up. Could be the key to a life-changing payday. And if you want to stay ahead of the game when it comes to rare coins and valuable finds, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and stick around. I'll be sharing more tips, strategies, and stories to help you turn pocket change into a fortune. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the next lucky person to cash in big. Alright, picture this. You're at the grocery store, you hand over a $5, and the cashier gives you some change. You don't think twice. Just shove it in your pocket. Later, you find a 1994 Lincoln penny in there. No big deal, right? Wrong. Turns out that tiny coin could be worth a whopping $4 million. Yes, you heard me right. A single penny, the kind you probably walk past on the sidewalk, could be your golden ticket. Today, we're diving into the 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, why it's worth so much, and how you can spot one. So, before you dump your change jar into the Coinstar machine, you might want to stick around. Why is this penny worth millions? So, let's break it down. The 1994 Lincoln penny was supposed to have a mint mark, either D for Denver or P for Philadelphia. But every now and then, the mint makes a little oopsie. And in this case, that oopsie is worth millions. Some pennies left the mint without a mint mark, making them super rare. Collectors go wild for mistakes like this because they're so unique. It's like finding a double-stuffed Oreo, but by accident. And because only a few of these pennies exist, demand is through the roof. One recently sold for $4 million at an auction. That's enough to buy a house, a sports car, and still have change left over from a penny. How to spot this $1 million penny, alright? Now let's talk about how to check your pennies. Because let's be real, if you've got one, you need to know. No mint mark, look right under the year 1994 on the front of the coin. If there's no little letter, D or P, you might be sitting on a fortune. Sharp details, this coin is usually in great condition because it wasn't in circulation long. If yours looks like it went through a washing machine, it's probably just a regular penny. Copper or zinc. Most 1994 pennies are made of zinc with a thin copper coating. But if you find one that's solid copper, you might want to call a coin expert ASAP. A personal story. Almost hit the jackpot. Okay, real talk. A few years ago, I was rolling up pennies to cash them in. I figured, it's just pennies, what's the big deal? But right before I dumped them, I decided to take a quick look, because, you never know. And guess what? I found a weird-looking penny from 1994 with no mint mark. My heart stopped. I thought I was about to be a millionaire. I rushed to a coin dealer faster than I've ever moved in my life. The guy takes one look and says, "Yeah, This is just a worn-down penny, worth about a cent. I've never felt so personally attacked by a piece of copper in my life. Moral of the story? Check your change, but don't get your hopes up too fast. So what's the takeaway here? Every penny counts, literally. That little coin in your pocket could be your ticket to riches. The 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is rare, but if you're lucky enough to find one, you could be looking at millions of dollars in your hands. And hey, if you don't find one, no worries, there are tons of other valuable coins out there. That's why you gotta subscribe to this channel. I'll keep you updated on rare coins, hidden treasures, and tips to turn your spare change into serious cash. So hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. What's the coolest coin you've ever found? You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some spare change to buy a soda, and bam, you find a 1989 penny. Nothing special, right? Just a regular OL Lincoln cent? Or IS it? Because today, we're talking about a 1989 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's worth a jaw-dropping $9 million. Yes, you heard that right. Not $9, not $900, not even $90,000. We're talking millionaire status from a single penny. So before you toss that change back in the jar or use it at the vending machine, stick around. You might be holding on to a fortune without even realizing it. Now, you might be wondering, wait, what's so special about a 1989 penny? It looks just like every other one. Well, that's where things get crazy. See, most 1989 pennies were made at the Philadelphia or Denver Mint. You can tell by the little P or D underneath the date. But if you find a 1989 penny with no mint mark at all, you could be sitting on a once-in-a-lifetime jackpot. So why is this penny worth so much? Here's the deal. The US Mint accidentally forgot to stamp a mint mark on a small number of these coins before releasing them into circulation. Because it's such a rare mistake, collectors are willing to pay insane amounts of money to own one. And recently, one of these bad boys sold for $9 million at auction. That's the kind of money that changes lives. We're talking buy a house, retire early, eat tacos for life kind of money. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Jake, was cleaning out his car one day and found a handful of pennies under the seat. Instead of tossing them in a coin jar like most people, he actually checked them. And guess what? No, he didn't find a $9 million penny, but he did find a valuable 1983 double die penny worth $15,000. Moral of the story? Always check your change, because you never know when you might be holding a tiny copper lottery ticket in your hands. So now you're probably thinking, okay, how do I check if I have this 1989 no-mint mark penny? It's simple. Grab your penny collection or go hunt for change in your couch, car, or old piggy bank. Look at the date. 1989 is what you want. Check under the year. If there's no mint mark, you could be sitting on millions. If you find one, get it checked by a professional before you spend it on a cup of coffee. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on rare coins, hidden treasures, and how to turn pocket change into big bucks, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Because let's be real. Finding $1 million penny is cool, but knowing where to look for more? Even better. Today, we're diving into a mind-blowing coin that could literally change your life, the 1984 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Now, hold on to your seats because this little copper beauty has been selling for a jaw-dropping $4 million. Yeah, you heard that right. $4 million. Imagine finding one of these in your couch cushions. Suddenly, you're not just looking for spare change. You're treasure hunting. Stick around because we're going to break down why this penny is worth a fortune, how to spot one, and most importantly, how you can turn your pocket change into serious cash. All right, let's get into it. The 1984 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny might look like any other penny at first glance, but there's something special about it. No-mint mark means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which usually isn't a big deal, except when a rare error or variation makes it incredibly valuable. Now, what makes this particular penny worth a ridiculous amount of money? One word: doubling. No, not doubling your money, though technically, in this case, you'd be multiplying it by like a billion. It's called a double die error, and it happens when the coin is struck twice by the die, causing a noticeable doubling effect on the lettering and sometimes Lincoln's features. If you have one of these, you're not holding just any old penny, you're holding a gold mine. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was digging through my old coin jar, hoping to find something cool. And guess what? I did not find a $4 million penny. But I did find a wheat penny, which got me interested in rare coins. And that's how I ended up here, helping you all learn how to spot valuable coins in your own collection. Moral of the story? Always check your spare change. You never know when you'll strike it rich. Now, back to this insane penny. The last known sale of a high-grade 1984 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny went for, yep, you guessed it, $4 million. But even if yours isn't in perfect condition, lower-grade versions still sell for thousands. And let's be real, turning a penny into thousands of dollars? That's better than any investment out there. So, next time you get a handful of change, don't just throw it in a jar. Take a closer look. You might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on how to find valuable coins hiding in plain sight, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next big discovery that could make you rich. And hey, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin. Let's hear those treasure hunting stories. Imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions for some spare change, and bam, you find a 1978 penny. Nothing special, right? Just another old coin? Or is it? What if I told you that a 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny could be worth a life-changing $8 million? That's right. A single penny that could buy you a mansion, a luxury car, and still leave you with enough cash to fill a swimming pool. Though, let's be honest, that'd be a terrible way to store money. Stick with me because today we're diving into why this penny is so valuable, how to spot one, and what to do if you hit the jackpot. Alright, let's break this down. The 1978 Lincoln penny was minted in Philadelphia, which means it doesn't have a mint mark. No big deal, right? Well, here's where it gets wild. Most 1978 pennies are made of copper and worth, well, a penny. But there's a rare error variety that collectors are absolutely losing their minds over. This special penny has some kind of mysterious, once-in-a-lifetime mistake. Whether it's a crazy double die, a misstrike, or a material mix-up. And because collectors love rare errors, the price has shot up to a ridiculous $8 million at auction. Now, I know what you're thinking. I've got a whole jar of 1978 pennies. Am I secretly rich? Maybe. But before you quit your job and book that trip to the Bahamas, let's talk about how to check if your penny is the one. First, grab a magnifying glass. Look for any oddities like doubling on the letters, a misaligned strike, or anything that looks off. If you spot something weird, take a deep breath and get it authenticated by a coin expert or a grading service like PCGS or NGC. And let me tell you, I learned this lesson the hard way. One time, I found what I thought was a rare penny. I got so excited, I ran to a dealer, only for them to tell me, "Buddy, this is just a regular penny." I felt like I had just been told my lottery ticket was actually a grocery receipt. But hey, that's part of the thrill of coin hunting. Sometimes you strike out, but sometimes you hit the jackpot. And if you do find that one rare penny, you could be sitting on millions. So what's the moral of the story? Check your change. That penny in your pocket might not just be spare change. It could be life-changing if you love learning about rare coins and how to turn pocket change into serious cash. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and jaw-dropping coin values coming your way. And if you do find that $8 million penny, don't forget to invite me to the celebration. You find a penny, just a regular OL 1976 Lincoln cent. Or so you think. But what if I told you that one of these little copper beauties is worth a jaw-dropping $6 million? Yeah, you heard that right. That's not just a new car money, that's buy an island and retire kind of cash. Stick around, because today we're talking all about the 1976 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, why it's worth a fortune, and how you might just have one sitting in your pocket right now. Alright, let's break this down. First, let's talk about the basics. The 1976 Lincoln penny was minted in Philadelphia, which is why there's no little letter under the date. Philly didn't start putting mint marks on pennies until 2017. Most of these pennies? Worth, well, a penny. But here's where things get wild. A rare error or variety can send the value of a coin skyrocketing. In the case of this 1976 penny, we're talking about a coin that is a collector's dream. Why? Because of its unique composition and possible error variations. Some of these rare pennies were struck on leftover silver planchets from bicentennial quarters. Yep, a penny on a silver planchet. That's like finding a $100 bill in a stack of ones. Now, here's a quick way to check if you've got a special one. Grab a scale. A normal 1976 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If yours is lighter or heavier, you might just have something special. And if you hear a high-pitched ding when you drop it, instead of the usual thud, you could be holding a $6 million treasure. You might be wondering, who would even pay that much for a penny? Well, collectors love unique coins, and auctions can get crazy. One of these rare 1976 pennies recently hit the market and was valued at $6 million. That's more than some Ferraris, people. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, digging through a bin of old coins. I found a 1976 penny, got excited, and rushed home to check its weight. Spoiler alert, it was totally normal, worth 1 cent. I think my heart actually broke a little. But that moment taught me a valuable lesson. Always check your change, because you never know when you'll hit the jackpot. So, here's the deal. If you've got a 1976 penny, take a second look. Check the weight, check for errors, and who knows, you might just be sitting on a life-changing fortune. And hey, if you love learning about rare coins and how to spot the valuable ones, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I drop videos all the time about hidden treasures in your pocket change. Turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to strike it rich. Now, go check your pennies. You might just be holding a $6 million coin. Today we're talking about a simple, everyday coin that might just be worth a life-changing amount of money. Imagine checking your couch cushions, your pocket change, or that old jar of pennies on your grandma's shelf, and boom! You find a 1973 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny worth $3 million. Yes, you heard me right. A single penny that could buy you a mansion, a sports car, and still leave you with some serious spending cash. Sounds crazy, right? Well, stick around, because today we're diving into the details of this rare and valuable penny, and I'll even share a little story about how I almost lost a valuable coin in the most ridiculous way possible. Alright, let's get into it. So, what makes the 1973 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny so valuable? Well, most pennies from 1973 were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which means they don't have a mint mark. But here's the kicker, not all of them are rare. So, what makes this one special? First, the condition. If you have one of these pennies in pristine, uncirculated condition, preferably graded by PCGS or NGC at a high grade, that's where the real money is. We're talking about a top-tier, museum-worthy penny that collectors would fight over at an auction. Second, errors. Some of these pennies were struck with mistakes like double dies, off-center strikes, or even transitional metal errors. If your penny has one of these rare mistakes, cha-ching, that's when you start seeing those big dollar sales. And let's not forget demand. Collectors love Lincoln cents, especially rare variations. When demand is high and supply is low, the price skyrockets. Simple economics, right? Now, let me tell you a quick story about how I almost lost a valuable coin. A while back, I was sorting through some old change when I found an odd-looking penny. It had a weird shine to it, and something about the design looked different. But instead of checking it right away, I tossed it on my desk and forgot about it. A few days later, my cat decided that the penny was his new favorite toy. That thing went flying across the room, under the couch, behind the fridge. It was a whole adventure trying to find it. When I finally did, I looked it up, and guess what? It was actually worth some real money. Not $3 million, but enough to make me realize that I should always check my coins before letting my cat claim them. So here's the deal. If you have a 1973 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, don't just spend it on a pack of gum. Take a close look at it. If it's in great condition or has a unique error, it could be worth a fortune. And even if you don't find one today, keep searching. You never know when you might stumble upon a hidden treasure in your pocket change. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting rare coins worth big money, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like this video and drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin or if your pet has ever tried to steal your valuables. Stay curious, keep checking your change, and alright, picture this. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for spare change to buy a snack. You find a penny, shrug, and toss it aside. But what if I told you that one penny, just one, could be worth up to $9 million? Yeah, that's right. Forget Bitcoin. We're talking about an actual 1969 D. Lincoln penny that sold for that insane amount. And now you're probably thinking, wait, what? I have a bunch of old pennies. Could I be a millionaire? Well, my friend, that's exactly what we're about to find out. Stick around because I'm going to tell you exactly what makes this coin so valuable, how you can spot one, and some strategies to cash in on rare coins. Trust me, you don't want to accidentally spend one of these bad boys on a vending machine snack. First things first, why is this 1969 D. Lincoln penny worth so much? Well, it all comes down to rarity and errors. This isn't your average pocket change. There was a major printing mistake that happened at the Denver Mint in 1969, creating a small batch of pennies that were accidentally double die obverse, DDO. That's a fancy way of saying some of the details, especially the date and the words Liberty and In God We Trust, look like they were stamped twice. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A while back, my buddy found a 1969 penny in his dad's old coin jar. He got all excited thinking he'd hit the jackpot. He ran to get it checked out, only to realize, oops, it wasn't the rare one, just a regular old penny. And yes, we all laughed at his heartbreak. But here's the lesson. Not every 1969 D penny is valuable, but if you find the right one, you could be set for life. Look for that D mint mark under the year 1969 check for double-stamped letters on the front of the coin if you're unsure. Take it to a professional coin grader. It's worth the effort now. If you DO have the real deal, congratulations. You've basically won the lottery of pocket change. But before you start planning your private island purchase, make sure to get it authenticated. The best ones have been sold at high-end auctions for millions. So, here's your game plan. Go check your pennies. Seriously, right now, dig through that junk drawer, search under the car seats, ask your grandparents if they have an old jar of coins. You never know where treasure might be hiding. And if you love learning about rare coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button. I'll be dropping more videos on hidden gems in your pocket change and how to turn your coin collection into cold, hard cash. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. Now go check those pennies. And if you find a $9 million one, don't forget who told you first. Imagine finding a penny in your pocket and realizing it's worth $6 million. Yeah, $6 million. That's not a typo. We're talking about the 1966 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a tiny piece of copper that could make you a millionaire. Stick around because today I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this rare coin, why it's worth a fortune, and how you might just have one sitting in your change jar. Now, I know what you're thinking. A penny? Really? $6 million? That sounds crazier than my Uncle Joe trying to pay for gas with a handful of nickels. But I promise you, this is real. The 1966 penny without a mint mark is one of the rarest and most sought-after coins out there. Why? Well, back in 1965, the U.S. Mint stopped putting mint marks on coins to discourage collectors from hoarding them. But here's the kicker. Not all 1966 pennies were created equal. Some had errors, some were struck on rare planchets, and some just ended up being super valuable due to their condition and rarity. Let's break it down. First, if you've got a 1966 Lincoln penny, check for mistakes. Look for doubling in the lettering or any weird features that stand out. Some error coins from this year have been sold for thousands, and the rarest, top-quality versions have hit that jaw-dropping $6 million mark. That's the kind of money that buys you a mansion, a yacht, and a lifetime supply of tacos. I remember when I first got into coin collecting. I was digging through my grandpa's old coffee can full of change, thinking I'd hit the jackpot. Spoiler alert, I didn't. But I did find a 1943 steel penny, which got me hooked. Ever since then, I've been on a mission to help others find hidden gems in their spare change. So, how do you know if you've got one of these copper mines in your pocket? First, check the year. 1966, no mint mark, and it has to be in top condition, meaning no scratches, dents, or signs that it's been through a washing machine. Second, if you think it's special, get it graded. A certified high-grade 1966 penny could change your life. Before you run off to check your couch cushions, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. like this video, and drop a comment below if you've ever found an old coin worth more than face value. Who knows? Maybe your next penny find will be worth millions. Keep hunting, stay curious, and You ever feel like you're just one lucky find away from being rich? Well, what if I told you that an ordinary-looking 1964 D Lincoln penny could be worth a mind-blowing $4 million? Yeah, you heard that right. $4 million. That's not just pocket change. That's life-changing money. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you love coins, treasure hunting, or just the thrill of finding something crazy valuable in your spare change, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the 1964 D Lincoln penny, why it's worth a fortune, how to spot one, and how you could be sitting on a literal jackpot without even knowing it. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be digging through your couch cushions like a detective on a mission. Alright, let's get into it. What makes the 1964 D penny worth $4 million? So here's the deal. The 1964 D Lincoln penny isn't your average copper cent. There are rare error coins and special die varieties that make some of these pennies insanely valuable. But the big reason why this coin is worth so much? A super rare mistake at the Denver Mint. Back in 1964, the US Mint was in chaos. They were transitioning from silver coins to clad coins, and there were all kinds of minting changes happening. In the midst of all that, a few special pennies slipped through the cracks with unique errors. These rare errors, combined with collectors going absolutely nuts for them, have driven prices through the roof. How do you know if you have one? Alright, so let's say you come across a 1964 D Lincoln penny. How do you know if it's the one? Here's what to look for. The D mint mark, located right under the year 1964. The D stands for Denver, where the coin was minted. Mint errors. The high-value ones have doubling on the lettering or an off-center strike. Some even have planchet errors, meaning the metal wasn't cut properly. Condition is everything. If it's in pristine condition, meaning no scratches, no heavy wear, you could be sitting on a gold mine. And before you ask, yes, I have gone through every single penny in my house. I even checked the old piggy bank I had as a kid. Spoiler alert, I didn't find a $4 million penny, but I did find a button, a Canadian coin, and a note from my childhood self that said, "Future me, don't spend this. Good advice, younger me." How much could you actually get? Okay, so here's where it gets even crazier. A verified 1964 D Lincoln penny with a rare error sold for $4 million at auction. That's the kind of money that buys a mansion, a sports car, and a lifetime supply of tacos. Even if yours isn't the jackpot version, some 1964 D pennies with minor errors still sell for thousands of dollars. Even a regular one in top condition can go for $50 to $100, which is not bad for a coin that was originally worth just 1 cent. So what's the lesson here? Check your pennies. That little copper coin sitting in your change jar might just be your golden ticket. And if you find one, get it authenticated immediately, because you never know, you might be the next person cashing in big. And hey, if you love learning about hidden treasures in your spare change, hit that subscribe button. I'll be bringing you more tips, more rare coins, and more ways to turn your everyday money into a fortune. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got some more pennies to check. You ever hear the phrase, "a penny for your thoughts"? Well, what if I told you some pennies are worth $1 million? Yeah, you heard me right, $1 million. Today, we're talking about the 1960 D Lincoln penny. Not just any 1960 D penny, but one special coin that turned heads in the collector world and made someone a whole lot richer. So, if you've got a jar of old pennies sitting around, you might want to stick around, because you could be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. Let's break it down. The 1960 D penny was minted in, well, you guessed it, 1960 in Denver. Now, most of these pennies are worth just face value. You could literally step on one at the gas station and not even think twice. But then, there's the rare variety. What makes this one penny worth $1 million? Well, it has a rare doubling effect known as a double die obverse, meaning the details, like Lincoln's profile and the date, appear slightly doubled. It's like Lincoln had too much coffee and started vibrating in place. And if that wasn't enough, some of these pennies were struck with a small date variety, making them even rarer. Combine that with pristine condition and a high-grade certification, and boom, you've got a penny worth more than a luxury sports car. Now, here's where it gets crazy. A collector recently bought one of these bad boys for a cool $1 million at an auction. Imagine paying $1 million for something most of us don't even bother picking up off the sidewalk. Now, let me tell you why this is personal for me. A few years back, I was digging through some old change at my grandma's house. She had this giant jar of pennies. Seriously, it looked like she had been hoarding them since the Great Depression. I found a 1960 penny, and for a moment, my heart stopped. Could this be the one? I rushed to get it checked, only to find out it was just a regular penny. Worth exactly 1 cent. Moral of the story? Always check your coins. But don't start planning your retirement just yet. What's the lesson here? That little coin sitting at the bottom of your couch cushions could be worth a fortune. All you need is a keen eye, a little patience, and maybe a magnifying glass if your eyesight's anything like mine. If you want to learn more about rare coins worth big money and how to spot them, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more hidden treasure stories to share. Now go check your piggy bank. You never know what you might find. Imagine this. You're digging through your change, looking for a quarter to feed a parking meter, and boom! You realize you're holding onto a rare 1965 No Ellis Island, Washington quarter worth a jaw-dropping $5 million. Yeah, $5 million. Sounds like a fairy tale, right? Well, today we're diving into the fascinating world of rare quarters, breaking down why this one is worth a fortune, and most importantly, how you might just be lucky enough to find one in your pocket change. So, grab your coin jar and let's go treasure hunting. Alright, let's start with a little backstory. 1965 was a weird time for US coins. The country was facing a silver shortage, and the government decided to phase out 90% silver coins in favor of copper nickel. But, like in any good mystery, mistakes were made. Some 1965 quarters were accidentally struck on silver planchets, left over from 1964. And those rare mistakes, well, they're now worth a life-changing amount of money. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, but what's this No Ellis Island thing about? Great question. See, Ellis Island wasn't featured on Washington quarters at all in 1965. So technically, all of them are No Ellis Island quarters. But hey, that's what makes this story fun. It's one of those quirks that gets passed around in coin collecting circles, and before you know it, boom, people are checking their change, hoping for a miracle. So how do you know if you've got a jackpot quarter? Here's what to look for. 1965, obviously. If it says anything else, sorry, it's just a regular quarter. The silver planchet quarters weigh about 6.25 grams, while the normal clad ones weigh around 5.67 grams. A tiny difference, but worth millions. Drop it on a hard surface. Silver quarters have a distinct, high-pitched ring, while clad quarters sound dull. Try it, and if your quarter sings like Mariah Carey hitting a high note, you might be in business. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was at a yard sale, digging through an old tin of coins. The lady selling them said, "Oh, those are just old quarters. Take 'em for face value." My heart skipped a beat. Could this be my big moment? My ticket to early retirement? Long story short, nope. Just a pile of 1970s pocket change. But hey, it was still a rush. And that's what makes coin collecting so exciting. You never know when you might strike gold or silver. So, next time you're handed a quarter in change, don't just toss it in the tip jar. Take a second. Check the date. Give it a little drop test. Because who knows? That tiny piece of metal in your hand could be your ticket to financial freedom. And if you love discovering rare and valuable coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I've got plenty more money-making coin secrets coming your way. Imagine this. You're digging through your old change jar, looking for a quarter to pay for parking, and boom, you just handed the meter a $6 million coin. Yep, you heard me right. There's a 1966 No Ellis Island, Washington quarter out there worth a life-changing fortune. And today we're talking all about it, why it's so rare, what makes it special, and most importantly, how you can spot one hiding in your pocket change. So stick around because this might just be the most valuable 10 minutes you've ever spent. Alright, first things first, what's the deal with this coin? Why is a 1966 Washington quarter without Ellis Island worth a jaw-dropping $6 million? Here's the thing. Back in 1966, quarters were still being made without a mint mark, but one special quarter turned out to be an absolute unicorn. Instead of the standard design, this bad boy is missing Ellis Island, And that tiny detail is the key to its insane value. It's like having a painting with the artist's signature missing. Except in this case, it's not a mistake. It's a mind-blowing rarity. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A collector once walked into a flea market, just browsing through a random bin of old coins. He finds a 1966 quarter that looks a little off. He buys it for 25 cents, brings it home, does a little research, and bam. Turns out he just became a millionaire overnight. Can you imagine? That's like buying a scratch-off ticket and realizing you just hit the jackpot. Moral of the story? Always check your change, people. Now, let's talk about how you can tell if you've got one of these golden tickets disguised as pocket change. It must be a 1966 Washington quarter. If Ellis Island is missing, jackpot. If it's in mint or near mint condition, you're looking at big money. You don't want to think you're holding a fortune just to find out it's a regular old quarter. Have an expert take a look. So what's the market value looking like today? Right now, collectors and investors are going crazy over this coin, and recent sales have hit the $6 million mark. That's enough to buy a mansion, a luxury car, and still have money left to build the ultimate coin collection. So, the next time you get change at the store, don't just toss it in your cup holder. You might be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. And if you love learning about rare and valuable coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and strategies to help you turn pocket change into serious cash. Who knows? Your next trip to the laundromat might just make you a millionaire. What if I told you there's a 1967 Washington quarter out there worth a mind-blowing $7 million? That's right, $7 million. Imagine finding one of these in your old piggy bank or a random jar of change. You'd be rich. Well, maybe. But let's get into the details before you start flipping over every couch cushion in your house. So, what makes this 1967 no-mint mark Washington quarter so special? First off, let's talk about the basics. This quarter was minted during a time when the U.S. Mint stopped putting mint marks on coins due to a national coin shortage. No Philadelphia, no Denver, no San Francisco, just good old George Washington staring off into the distance, wondering when he'd finally get a break from being on all our money. Now, typically, a 1967 Washington quarter is worth, well, 25 cents. Maybe a little more if it's in great condition. But here's where it gets wild. A specific error version of this coin, due to a rare and mysterious misstrike, has been valued at an astonishing $7 million. And before you ask, no, I don't have one yet. But hey, I keep checking my change like it's the lottery. This ultra-rare quarter is rumored to have a unique minting flaw, possibly an experimental planchet, a crazy double strike, or even a mix-up where it was struck on silver instead of the usual clad material. There are only a handful known to exist, which is why collectors would sell their left sock and maybe their car just to own one. Now, here's a personal story for you. One time, I was at a flea market, and this older gentleman had a box labeled old coins, $1 each. Naturally, I dove in like a kid in a ball pit. I found a few cool ones, including a 1967 quarter. My heart was racing. Could it be the one? I checked it, rechecked it, and even pulled out my phone to compare pictures. Sadly, it was just a regular one, but hey, for $1, it was still a fun gamble. So, how can you tell if you've got $1 million quarter? Here's what to do. Look for anything unusual like double strikes, off-center designs, or even silver coloring. A normal clad quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. If yours is heavier or lighter, you might have something special. Don't just trust your own eyes. If you think you've hit the jackpot, send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Seriously, even if it looks dirty, leave it alone. Cleaning a coin can actually decrease its value. Now, before you go raiding your grandma's coin jar, let me hit you with this. Rare coins are out there, but you need patience, persistence, and a little bit of luck. Who knows? The next time you get a quarter as change, it could be your golden, or should I say silver, ticket. If you enjoyed this treasure hunt and want more tips on finding coins worth serious money, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I've got plenty more coin hunting secrets, crazy rare finds, and strategies to help you turn pocket change into a fortune. Today, we're talking about a 1979 Washington quarter that's worth a jaw-dropping $9 million. Yep, you heard that right. A single quarter that could buy you a mansion, a sports car, or 36 million vending machine snacks. But what makes this coin so special? And more importantly, could you be holding one without even knowing it? Stick around because you do not want to miss this. Alright, let's dive in. You might be thinking, wait, I've seen tons of 1,979 quarters. What's so special about this one? Well, here's the catch. Most 1979 Washington quarters were part of the regular issue, but this rare version is missing something crucial: Ellis Island. That's right, this error has turned an ordinary coin into a multimillion-dollar jackpot. So, what exactly happened? Well, back in 1979, the US Mint was producing tons of quarters. Mistakes happen, and somehow a small batch was struck without the Ellis Island design. This was never meant to happen, and only a handful of these mysterious quarters have been found. Now, let's talk about value. This isn't just a cool collector's item. It's literally life-changing money. The most recent auction had one of these bad boys selling for $9 million. That's right, a quarter worth more than some luxury yachts. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, I won't name names because he's still crying about it, was sorting through old coins he inherited from his grandfather. Guess what? He had a 1979 quarter that looked suspiciously different. But instead of checking with an expert, he tossed it into a Coinstar machine. Yep, gone forever. Moral of the story? Always double-check your spare change before feeding it to a machine. First, check the date, 1979. Of course, flip it over and see if the Ellis Island design is missing. If you're unsure, get it checked by a professional or a trusted coin dealer. If you find one, congratulations, you just hit the jackpot. If not, don't worry, because valuable coins are out there, and I'm here to help you find them. So, what do you think? Are you checking your pockets right now? Let me know in the comments. And if you love learning about rare coins and how to turn pocket change into serious cash, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I post videos about hidden treasures in your spare change all the time, and trust me, you don't want to miss the next one. Alright, picture this. You're digging through your old coin jar, probably looking for enough spare change to buy a coffee. You pull out a quarter. Just a regular old Washington quarter, right? But hold up, what if I told you that one special 1986 Ellis Island quarter could make you a millionaire? Like $6 million kind of millionaire? Yep, that's right. And no, this isn't some clickbait nonsense. I'm about to break it all down for you. So before you go spending that pocket change on vending machine snacks, stick around because this little coin might just be your golden ticket. Alright, let's talk about what makes this quarter so ridiculously valuable. First things first, the 1986 Ellis Island Washington quarter was minted in Philadelphia, hence the little P, mint mark. This quarter was part of the US Mint's commemorative coin series, celebrating Ellis Island, where millions of immigrants first set foot in America, dreaming of a better future. Now, little did they know, decades later, one of these coins would be someone's lottery ticket. So why is this specific quarter worth a mind-blowing $6 million? Here's where it gets crazy. There's a rare mint error that only a few collectors have ever spotted. We're talking about a double die obverse, where George Washington's profile looks slightly duplicated if you look closely. Some versions also have a misaligned die, making certain details look slightly off. These errors are like typos in a best-selling book, rare, valuable, and super sought after. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A guy I know, let's call him Jim, was casually sorting through his dad's old coin collection. He wasn't even a coin collector, just looking for something cool. He finds this odd-looking 1986 quarter, notices the doubling, and, on a whim, decides to get it checked out. Long story short, it turned out to be one of the rarest finds in modern coin history. He went from a casual collector to $6 million richer overnight. Meanwhile, I'm over here checking my couch cushions for lost pennies. Now, before you get too excited, let's be real. These ultra-rare quarters don't just pop up every day. But the good news? Even regular 1986 Ellis Island quarters in great condition can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So it's still worth checking your stash. Alright, so what did we learn today? 1. Always check your spare change. 2. Mint errors are like hidden treasure. And 3. If you ever find a 1986 Ellis Island quarter with doubling or an off-center strike, get it checked immediately, because you could be holding a multimillion-dollar coin and not even know it. And hey, if you love learning about rare coins and how to spot money-making treasures in your own collection, hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and wild stories coming your way. Also, drop a comment. What's the coolest or weirdest coin you've ever found? Alright, coin lovers, buckle up because today, we're talking about a 1988 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar that's supposedly worth a jaw-dropping $8 million. Yeah, you heard that right, $8 million. Imagine finding that bad boy in your pocket change. You could buy a mansion, a yacht, and still have enough left over for a lifetime supply of tacos. But is this coin really worth that much? Or is it just another internet myth floating around like that email from a Nigerian prince? Let's break it down, have some fun, and see if you might have a small fortune hiding in your couch cushions. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about what makes the 1988 D. Ellis Island quarter dollar special. You're probably thinking, wait a minute, I don't remember an Ellis Island quarter from 1988. And you'd be right. That's because it doesn't exist, at least not officially. The Washington quarter in 1988 featured the good old standard eagle on the back. The Ellis Island design came much later, in 2017, as part of the America the Beautiful series. So where does this $8 million claim come from? Well, every now and then, coins slip through the cracks at the mint. Maybe a die from a different year was mistakenly used. Maybe there was some kind of wild experimental strike. Or maybe someone just got a little too creative with their eBay listing. Now, let me tell you a quick story. I once thought I hit the jackpot when I found a weird-looking quarter in my change. It had a strange design. The color seemed a little off, and I was already planning my dream vacation to the Bahamas. Turns out, it was just a state quarter that had been run over by a shopping cart too many times. Moral of the story? Always do your research before quitting your day job. What's the real deal with this so-called $8 million Ellis Island quarter? Right now, there's no confirmed sale of such a coin. While rare mint errors can fetch thousands or even millions, there's no verified record of a 1988 D. Ellis Island quarter hitting that insane value. But that doesn't mean your coins aren't worth checking. Some 1988 D. Washington quarters with mint errors like off-center strikes or double dies can be worth good money. So, should you go tearing apart your couch looking for an $8 million quarter? Probably not, unless you really need an excuse to clean. But this just goes to show that rare and valuable coins are out there, and some are worth serious cash. The key is knowing what to look for, staying informed, and not falling for every viral internet claim. If you love learning about rare and valuable coins, and don't want to miss out on actual money-making finds, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got more tips, tricks, and strategies to help you find hidden treasures in your spare change. Have you ever flipped a quarter, bought a soda, and then thought, wait a minute, did I just spend a fortune? Well, buckle up because today we're talking about a 1990 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter that's worth, drum roll, $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. So before you dump your change jar at the Coinstar machine, stick around because you might just be sitting on a jackpot. Alright, let's break it down. The 1990 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter is a rare coin that has collectors and numismatists losing their minds. Why? Because of its ultra-rare minting error and limited mintage, making it one of the most sought-after quarters in history. Now, let's talk about the details. This quarter was minted in Denver, which is what the D stands for, and it was part of a special commemorative series honoring Ellis Island. Most of these coins are worth face value, but every now and then, a rare variety pops up, and bam. Someone's life changes overnight, so what makes this specific quarter worth $1 million? Well, this bad boy has a double die obverse, a striking error that makes certain elements of the coin appear doubled. The word Liberty and the date 1990 are noticeably doubled on these rare quarters, making them incredibly valuable. Also, some versions have a missing mint mark, which makes them even rarer. And let me tell you, if you find one of these, you're not just holding 25 cents, you're holding the keys to an early retirement. Now, let me share a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Dave, was cleaning out his car one day and found an old quarter stuck between the seats. He was about to toss it into a vending machine, but something told him to check it out first. He pulled out his phone, did a quick search, and guess what? He had a rare 1990 D Ellis Island quarter with a double die obverse. Long story short, he got it graded, took it to auction, and sold it for a mind-blowing $950,000. That's almost $1 million from pocket change. Moral of the story? Always check your change. Alright, coin lovers, now it's your turn. Dig through your pockets, check your couch cushions, and raid that jar of quarters you've been ignoring. Who knows? You might be the next lucky collector to cash in big. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins that are worth serious money, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out. Also, drop a comment below. What's the coolest coin you've ever found? Ever dreamt of finding a coin in your pocket worth a cool $2 million? Well, today we're diving into the world of the 1992 D Washington quarter, specifically the Ellis Island edition. Spoiler alert, while it might not make you a millionaire overnight, there's still plenty of treasure to uncover. So, grab your magnifying glasses and let's embark on this numismatic adventure. Picture this. You're sifting through your loose change, and suddenly, a gleaming quarter catches your eye. Could it be the elusive 1992 D Ellis Island Washington quarter worth millions? Before you start planning your retirement, let's separate fact from fiction and discover what makes this coin truly special. First things first, let's talk numbers. The 1992 D Washington quarter had a mintage of over 389 million coins. That's a lot of quarters. Learn.apmex.com. So, finding one isn't exactly like spotting a unicorn. But, as with all coins, the devil is in the details.in. The coin collecting world, or numismatics if you're feeling fancy, the condition of a coin dramatically influences its value. Coins are graded on a scale, with mint state MS being the creme de la creme. For the 1992 D quarter, valued around $5, learned at apmex.com jumps to approximately $60, learned at apmex. Now we're talking. These can fetch up to $638, learn.apmex.com. So, while $2 million might be a stretch, a pristine 1992 D quarter can still be a delightful find. The quirky moneymakers now, let's spice things up with some juicy error coins. These misfits often become the belles of the ball in coin auctions. For the 1992 D quarter, keep an eye out for. These quirky coins can range from $5 to $35, depending on the degree of the error. Cointrackers.com. If your quarter looks like it's had a bit too much coffee and appears doubled, it might be worth between $8 and $60. Cointrackers. Tacoma quarter with a missing outer layer, giving it a coppery appearance, can be valued between $35 and $220. Cointrackers. Tacoma personal tale. Let me share a quick story. A few years back, I was rummaging through my grandfather's old coin collection. Amidst the pennies and nickels, I found a 1992 D quarter with a slight off-center strike. My heart raced. After getting it appraised, I discovered it was worth about $50. Not life-changing, but it felt like finding hidden treasure. Plus, it sparked my passion for coin collecting. While the 1992 D Ellis Island Washington quarter might not make you an overnight millionaire, it's a shining example of the rich stories our coins can tell. Whether it's a mint error or a coin in impeccable condition, there's always value to be found, both monetary and historical. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to uncover more coin treasures, hit that subscribe button and join our community. Share your coin discoveries in the comments below, and let's keep this numismatic journey rolling. Ever dreamt of finding a coin in your pocket worth a cool $2 million? Well, today we're diving into the world of the 1992 D Washington quarter, specifically the Ellis Island edition. Spoiler alert, while it might not make you a millionaire overnight, there's still plenty of treasure to uncover. So, grab your magnifying glasses and let's embark on this numismatic adventure. You're sifting through your loose change, and suddenly, a gleaming quarter catches your eye. Could it be the elusive 1992 D Ellis Island Washington quarter worth millions? Before you start planning your retirement, let's separate fact from fiction and discover what makes this coin truly special. First things first, let's talk numbers. The 1992 D Washington quarter had a mintage of over 389 million coins. That's a lot of quarters. Learn.atmex.com. So, finding one isn't exactly like spotting a unicorn. But, as with all coins, the devil is in the details. Condition is king in the coin collecting world, or numismatics if you're feeling fancy. The condition of a coin dramatically influences its value. Coins are graded on a scale, with mint state MS being the creme de la creme. For the 1992 D quarter, valued around $5 learned at APMEX, OM jumps to approximately $60 learned at APMEX. Now we're talking. These can fetch up to $638 learned.apmex.om. So, while $2 million might be a stretch, a pristine 1992 D quarter can still be a delightful find. Errors. The quirky moneymakers. Now let's spice things up with some juicy error coins. These misfits often become the belles of the ball in coin auctions. For the 1992 D quarter, keep an eye out for. These quirky coins can range from $5 to $35, depending on the degree of the error. Cointrackers.com. If your quarter looks like it's had a bit too much coffee and appears doubled, it might be worth between $8 and $60. Cointrackers.com. A quarter with a missing outer layer, giving it a coppery appearance, can be valued between $35 and $220. Cointrackers.com. A personal tale. Let me share a quick story. A few years back, I was rummaging through my grandfather's old coin collection. Amidst the pennies and nickels, I found a 1992 D quarter with a slight off-center strike. My heart raced. After getting it appraised, I discovered it was worth about $50. Not life-changing, but it felt like finding hidden treasure. Plus, it sparked my passion for coin collecting. While the 1992 D Ellis Island Washington quarter might not make you an overnight millionaire, it's a shining example of the rich stories our coins can tell. Whether it's a mint error or a coin in impeccable condition, there's always value to be found, both monetary and historical. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to uncover more coin treasures, hit that subscribe button and join our community. Share your coin discoveries in the comments below, and let's keep this numismatic journey rolling. Have you ever found a quarter in your pocket and thought, man, just 25 cents, right? Well, what if I told you that one special quarter from 1993 is worth a life-changing $3 million? Yeah, you heard me right. You could be walking around with a tiny fortune and not even know it. Today, we're diving into the 1993 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter and why this little beauty is causing a big stir in the coin world. Stick around, because you might just have one of these jackpot coins hiding in your change jar. So what's the deal with this quarter? Alright, so the 1993 D. Washington quarter was part of the regular quarter run at the Denver Mint, but here's where things get spicy. There's a rare error where some of these coins were accidentally struck with a special Ellis Island reverse design that was never meant to be released to the public. Boom, instant rarity. Imagine being the guy at the mint who realized this mistake. Yikes, talk about an awkward day at work. How rare is it now before you go flipping over every 1993 quarter you can find? Let me hit you with some reality. There are only a handful of these known to exist. That's why they're worth so much. They're like unicorns, but shinier and more spendable. And the kicker, one of these bad boys sold for $3 million at auction. That's enough to buy a dream house, a sports car, and still have money left over for an absurd amount of tacos. How do you know if you have one? Great question. Flip your quarter over if you see George Washington chilling on the front as usual, but on the back, instead of the standard eagle design, you see an image of Ellis Island. You might be looking at a serious payday now. I know what you're thinking. No way I have that. But listen, stranger things have happened. My buddy once found a rare coin in a couch cushion at a gas station. True story. He went in for a snack, came out with a coin worth hundreds of dollars. So check your change, folks, because treasure doesn't always come in a treasure chest. Sometimes it's in the bottom of your glove compartment. All right, my fellow coin lovers, that's the scoop on the 1993 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter, a regular-looking coin with a not-so-regular price tag. If you have won, congrats, you're officially rich. If not, don't worry, there are plenty more valuable coins out there waiting to be found. So, before you spend that pocket change, take a second to check it. You never know when you're holding a hidden fortune. If you love learning about rare coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a chance to cash in on coin collecting. Turn on those notifications, because trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. And hey, if you find one of these quarters, let me know in the comments. Just don't forget who told you about it first. Today we're talking about the 1998 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar that could be worth a jaw-dropping $8 million. Yes, you heard that right, $8 million for a quarter. That's like finding a golden ticket in your vending machine snack. All right, so let's get into it. First off, the 1998 P. Ellis Island quarter is part of the commemorative series celebrating iconic American landmarks. This one specifically honors Ellis Island, the gateway for millions of immigrants coming to the United States in search of a better life. Now, who would have thought that years later one of these quarters would be worth more than some mansions? So what makes this quarter so special? Is it secretly made of gold? Is it infused with luck from the Statue of Liberty? Well, not quite, but close. It turns out that an ultra-rare minting error has made this coin insanely valuable. Some of these quarters were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the metal composition is different than the standard one others have. Misalignments, double strikes, or other oddities that make collectors go absolutely bananas. Now, let me tell you a quick story about my own coin collecting journey. A few years ago, I found an old quarter in my couch cushions and thought I hit the jackpot. Spoiler alert, I didn't. It was just a regular quarter, but ever since then I've been obsessed with checking my change, because you never know when you might be holding on to something worth life-changing money. Imagine buying a soda and getting millions back in change. That's the dream right there. All right, back to the big question. How do you know if you have this rare 1998 P. Ellis Island quarter? First thing, check for the mint mark. The P means it was minted in Philadelphia. Next, examine the coin for any oddities. If it looks off, weighs differently, or has a misprint, you might just be sitting on a gold mine. And if you're unsure, have a professional appraise it, because you don't want to accidentally spend it on a parking meter. So what's the current market value? Well, one of these beauties recently sold for a staggering $8 million. That's not just life-changing, that's retire on a private island money. It's rare, but hey, it's out there. And that's why it pays to keep an eye on your spare change. Before we wrap up, remember, coins worth money aren't just about luck, they're about knowledge and strategy. So keep learning, keep searching, and who knows, maybe you'll be the next person to find a rare coin in your pocket. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, and comment below. Have you ever found a valuable coin? Let's talk about it. And as always, all right, folks, imagine this. You're at the grocery store, you hand over a $20 bill, and the cashier gives you back some loose change. You shove it in your pocket, not thinking twice, and later, while doing laundry, you find a penny. You're about to toss it aside when, bam, it hits you. Wait a minute, could this be the one? Well, my friends, today we're talking about the 2017 D Lincoln penny, a little copper coin that, believe it or not, could be worth $7 million. Yes, you heard that right. $7 million. That's not just gas money, that's private island money. So, how do you know if you've got the golden ticket in your pocket? Stick around, because we're diving into everything you need to know, from what makes this penny so special to how you can cash in big time. Alright, so first things first, what's the deal with this penny? The 2017 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver to celebrate the 225th anniversary of the U.S. Mint. Nothing too crazy, right? But here's where things get interesting. There's a rare error version of this penny that collectors are desperate to get their hands on. And by desperate, I mean throw a mansion's worth of cash at it. Desperate. Now, what makes this penny worth $7 million? It's all about a super rare misprint, a double die obverse. In simple terms, some of these pennies were struck twice, making the details on Lincoln's face and the lettering look slightly blurred or doubled. If you've got one of these rare error pennies, congratulations, my friend. You're sitting on a fortune. Okay, but how do I find one? Check the date and mint mark. It should say 2017 D, D for Denver. Look for the doubling. Pay close attention to Lincoln's face, especially the eyes and mouth. If they look kind of funky, like Lincoln had one too many cups of coffee, you might have a winner. Check in God we trust. If the letters look doubled, you're in business. Use a magnifying glass, because let's be real, most of us aren't walking around with 20/20 vision anymore. Now, here's where things get wild. A lucky collector sold one of these pennies for $7 million at auction. And get this, he originally found it in his car's cup holder. Imagine that. One day you're digging for quarters to buy a gas station coffee, and the next, you're a millionaire. Which reminds me of a personal story. A few years back, I found an old penny in my sock drawer and thought, hey, maybe I should check if it's valuable. Turns out, it was worth exactly 1 cent. But hey, at least I tried. The point is, you never know until you look. Alright, folks, now you know the secret. The 2017 D Lincoln penny could be worth millions, and one might be hiding in your spare change right now. So what are you waiting for? Go check those pockets, that piggy bank, your car, under the couch, heck, check your grandma's old coin jar while you're at it. And if you find one, call me. We'll split it. Just kidding. If you love learning about rare coins that could make you rich, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the next big money-making coin. Imagine finding a penny that's worth more than a Lamborghini. Sounds crazy, right? But buckle up because today we're talking about the 2016 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's currently valued at a jaw-dropping $6 million. Yeah, you heard that right. $6 million. And you might just have one sitting in your pocket right now. Alright, so let's break this down. The 2016 Lincoln penny, at first glance, looks just like any other penny you'd toss into a jar or leave under your car seat. But the one we're talking about is special. It has no mint mark, meaning it was minted in Philadelphia. Now, normally that wouldn't be a big deal because Philly pennies don't have mint marks anyway. But this particular penny has some super rare characteristics that make it worth more than a house in Beverly Hills. First, it's a major error coin. Somewhere in the minting process, something went completely haywire, creating a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. Think of it like a factory misprint on a baseball card, but way more valuable. Experts believe it could have a unique double-die error, off-center strike, or some kind of freakish flaw that makes it unlike any other 2016 penny. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was at a flea market, digging through an old coin collection. A guy next to me found a wheat penny and got all excited, thinking it was rare. He turned to me and said, "Hey, what do you think this is worth?" I took a look and, spoiler alert, it was worth about 5 cents. Poor guy looked like I just told him his goldfish ran away. But that moment stuck with me because it reminded me that rare coins can be hiding in plain sight. And that's exactly why you need to start checking your change more carefully. So, back to our $6 million penny. If you have a 2016 Lincoln penny, grab a magnifying glass and start examining it. Look for oddities, misprints, doubling on the lettering, or anything that seems off. If you think you've got something special, get it professionally graded. You never know. Your average-looking penny might just be your ticket to early retirement. Alright, folks, if you love money, and let's be real, who doesn't? Make sure you subscribe to this channel. I drop videos all the time about coins hiding in your pocket that could be worth thousands, or even millions of dollars. Hit that like button, leave a comment if you've ever found a weird-looking coin, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep checking that change, and happy hunting! Alright, folks, buckle up because today we're talking about a little piece of copper that could change your life. Imagine finding a penny, yes, a regular OL penny, only to discover it's worth a staggering $8 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, it's not. We're diving deep into the 2008 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and trust me, after this video you'll be checking every single penny in your couch cushions. Now, let's talk about what makes this penny so valuable. First off, 2008 was a weird year for pennies. While most coins from that year have the traditional Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco mint marks, a tiny handful came out without any mint mark at all. It's like showing up to a party with no invitation. Totally rare and unexpected. The reason? Some say it was a minting error, others think it was a special strike that was never supposed to make it into circulation. Either way, these no-mint mark 2008 pennies are insanely rare, and collectors are willing to drop serious cash on them. Like buy a mansion with a backyard full of swimming pools kind of cash. And here's the kicker, one of these bad boys recently sold for $8 million at auction. That's right, $8 million. For a single penny. I don't know about you, but if I found one, I'd frame it, sing it lullabies at night, and protect it like it's the last slice of pizza in a room full of hungry people. Now, you might be wondering, how do I know if I have one? Great question. You'll want to check a few key things. First, no mint mark under the date. If there's a little D or S there, sorry. It's not the one. Next, condition matters. If it looks like it's been run over by a lawnmower, the value drops. A pristine, uncirculated one is where the real money's at. Finally, take it to an expert for authentication. You don't want to be the person who thinks they've won the lottery, only to find out they've just been carrying around a super common penny in their pocket. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A while back, I was at a garage sale and saw a jar full of pennies. The lady running it said, "Take as many as you want. They're just pennies." Just pennies? Lady, you might be sitting on a gold mine. So, I grabbed a few, took them home, and spent hours going through them like a detective solving the biggest case of his life. Sadly, number $8 million penny. But hey, I found a wheat penny from 1944, which was still a cool find. So, what did we learn today? Always check your pennies. That little copper coin in your pocket might just be your ticket to an early retirement. And if you love learning about hidden treasures, rare coins, and ways to turn spare change into big bucks, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got tons more tips, tricks, and crazy coin stories coming your way. Imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for spare change to buy a snack. You find a penny, you almost ignore it, but something tells you to take a closer look. Fast forward a few weeks, and boom, that little copper coin turns out to be worth $4 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, for one lucky collector, that dream became reality with the 2004 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Today, we're diving into what makes this penny so valuable, how you can spot one, and the wild story behind its jaw-dropping price. So stick around because this could be the most profitable 10 minutes of your life. Alright, so let's get to it. The 2004 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. What makes it so special? After all, we see these pennies every day. First off, this isn't just any 2004 penny. Most of these were made in massive quantities, but a few rare errors slipped through the cracks at the US Mint. These error coins are what collectors go crazy for. The one that sold for $4 million. It had a unique double die error, which means the design was struck twice, creating a slightly doubled effect on Lincoln's profile and some of the letters. This error is super rare, and collectors will pay top dollar for it. And by top dollar, I mean millions. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A friend of mine, let's call him Dave, once laughed at me for obsessing over pennies. He thought collecting coins was just a quirky hobby. Well, one day, Dave and I were at a flea market, and I was sifting through a bucket of old coins. I spotted a 2004 penny with what looked like doubling on the letters. I showed Dave, and he shrugged it off. Fast forward a few weeks, I had it checked by an expert. And guess what? It was a rare error coin worth thousands. Not millions, but still. You better believe Dave started checking his change after that. Now, how can you find one of these legendary pennies? Step 1. Grab a magnifying glass. Yes, I know you might feel like Sherlock Holmes, but trust me, it's worth it. Look closely at the date, the letters, and Lincoln's profile. If you see any doubling or odd markings, congratulations, you might be holding a treasure. Step 2. Check online coin auctions and price guides to compare. Some pennies are worth a few bucks, others, well, you know the deal. Step 3. If you think you've hit the jackpot, take it to a professional coin grader. They can confirm its authenticity and help you get top dollar. So, next time you get a penny in your change, don't just toss it in a jar. Check it. It might just change your life. The 2004 no-mint Mark penny proves that hidden treasures are literally right under our noses. That if you love learning about coins worth crazy money, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons of tips, stories, and strategies to help you make money from coins you never knew were valuable. Who knows? The next millionaire coin hunter could be you. Imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for spare change for a coffee, and boom, you find a penny. But wait, what if that little copper coin is actually worth $3 million? Yeah, you heard me right. Today, we're talking about the 1993 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. A simple, everyday coin that somehow became a millionaire's dream. How? Why? And most importantly, do you have one? Stick around because by the end of this video, you might be sprinting to check your piggy bank. Alright, let's break this down. The 1993 Lincoln penny was minted in massive numbers, literally billions. Most of them are just worth, well, a penny. But there's always that one in a billion that flips the script. So what makes this one so special? It's all about the missing mint mark. Normally, pennies from Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, but there's a rare error where some coins weren't struck correctly or had slight variations, making them insanely valuable. In auctions, one of these bad boys hit $3 million, yes, for a coin you might have used to buy gum. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Dave, used to laugh at me for checking my change all the time. He said, "Dude, they're pennies, not Bitcoin." Fast forward to last year, he calls me, freaking out. He found an old jar of pennies in his basement, and guess what? One of them was a rare error coin worth $5,000. Moral of the story? Always check your change. And Dave? Well, let's just say he's not laughing anymore. Now, you're probably wondering, how can you tell if your 1993 penny is the jackpot coin? Here's what to look for. No mint mark at all sounds obvious, but some fakes exist, so double check. Error details? Look for doubling, off-center strikes, or anything that seems off. Professional grading. If you think you've got something special, send it in to PCGS or NGC for authentication.so. Could you be sitting on $1 million penny right now? Maybe. The only way to find out is to start checking those coins. Who knows? Your next fast food order might come with change worth a fortune. And hey, if you love learning about coins that could change your life, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I drop new videos every week, uncovering hidden treasures right in your pocket. Alright, imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions looking for spare change to buy a snack, and boom, you pull out a penny. You shrug, toss it aside, and move on with your day. But what if I told you that little penny could be worth $8 million? Yeah, you heard that right, $8 million bucks. Today we're talking about the 1988 D. Lincoln penny, and why one of these bad boys is worth enough to buy a mansion, a fleet of sports cars, and still have cash left over for a lifetime supply of tacos. So, if you've got a jar of pennies sitting around, you need to stick around because your next vacation to paradise might be hiding in there. Let's get into it. The 1988 D penny is usually just your average, run-of-the-mill coin. It was minted in Denver, as the D mint mark tells us. Most of them are worth, well, 1 cent. Not exciting, right? But here's where things take a crazy turn. There's one special error coin that has collectors losing their minds. This rare penny was struck using a 1989 reverse die, meaning the back of the coin doesn't match up with the front. It's a little detail most people would miss, but for coin experts, it's like spotting Bigfoot riding a unicorn. Now, why is this mistake so valuable? Simple, rarity equals cash. It's like baseball cards, comic books, or finding an original iPhone still in the box. The fewer there are, the more people are willing to pay big bucks. And in the case of this 1988 D penny, one recently sold at auction for $8 million. That's a lot of McChickens. And here's where it gets personal. I actually had a 1988 D penny once. Found it in my car's cup holder. And like an absolute fool, I used it to pay for parking. If I had checked, who knows? Maybe I'd be recording this video from my own private island. Lesson learned, folks. Always check your change. So, moral of the story? Don't ignore your pennies. That little piece of copper might just be your golden ticket. If you've got a stack of 1988 D pennies, grab a magnifying glass and check the reverse design. You could be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. And if you love learning about rare coins and how to turn pocket change into big bucks, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and ring the notification bell. I'll keep bringing you the best tips on coins worth serious money, so you never make the mistake I did. Now, go check your pennies. And if you find the $8 million one, don't forget who gave you the tip. Alright, picture this. You're digging through your couch cushions for some spare change, maybe hoping to find a quarter for the vending machine, and bam, you pull out a penny. But not just any penny. A 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln cent. And guess what? Could be worth $2 million. Yeah, you heard me right. $2 million. For a single penny. Now, before you start flipping over every cent you've ever touched, let's talk about why this little copper coin is making collectors lose their minds and how you can spot one in your own pocket change. The 1982 penny story. What's the deal? Okay, so back in 1982, the US Mint decided to make a little change. Literally. They were transitioning from solid copper pennies to a copper-plated zinc composition. But in the middle of this shift, something weird happened. A small number of these pennies were struck in pure copper, without a mint mark, and they slipped into circulation unnoticed. Fast forward to today, and these rare mistakes are selling for millions at auctions. That's right, people are paying more for a single penny than most of us will make in a lifetime. How to spot the $2 million penny? Alright, now let's get to the good stuff. How do you know if you're holding a jackpot penny? First, check the date. It must say 1982 mint mark. If there's a small D, Denver, or S, San Francisco, below the date, sorry, it's just a regular penny. Weigh it. This is the big one. The valuable 1982 penny is solid copper, meaning it weighs 3.11 grams instead of the newer 2.5 grams. If you don't have a scale, no worries. Just compare it to a regular 1983 penny. If it feels heavier, you might be onto something. Check the details. Make sure it looks sharp and clear. High-quality specimens fetch the highest prices. Real-life penny hunting, my experience now. Let me tell you a quick story. A couple of months ago, I was at a flea market, and this older guy had a jar of pennies for sale, like a whole mason jar for $5. So, being the coin nerd that I am, I thought, hey, maybe there's something special in there. I took it home, dumped them all out on the table, and started checking the dates. And let me tell you, I was so excited when I saw 1982 with no mint mark. My heart was racing. I grabbed my scale, weighed it, and 2.5 grams. Not the copper version. Just a regular, boring, worth 1 cent penny. Yeah, my millionaire dreams crashed in 5 seconds. But hey, that's the thrill of coin collecting. And who knows? Maybe your lucky penny is still out there waiting to be found. So, here's the deal. This rare 1982 no-mint mark penny is out there, and someone has to find it. Why not you? Next time you get change at the store or dig through that old piggy bank, check your pennies. That 1 cent coin could turn into a life-changing fortune. And if you love learning about coins worth serious money, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a rare coin tip. I post about all the hidden treasures hiding in plain sight. Now, go check your pennies, and let me know in the comments. What's the coolest coin you've ever found? Imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some spare change, and bam, you find a penny. No big deal, right? But what if I told you that little brown coin could be worth $9 million? Yeah, you heard me right. Today, we're talking about the 1979 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, the rare coin that's turning everyday pocket change into pure gold. Stick around because I'm going to tell you exactly why this coin is so valuable, how to spot one, and how you can start making serious money with coins. Plus, I'll share a little story about the time I almost threw away a valuable penny, biggest mistake of my life. All right, let's get into it. So, what makes this 1979 no-mint mark penny worth a mind-blowing $9 million? Well, first let's talk about what a no-mint mark means. Normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, but not all of them are valuable. So, what's the deal with this one? This particular 1979 penny is special because it's an ultra-rare error coin. Some of these pennies were mistakenly struck with a unique die that gives them distinct characteristics, things like a double die, off-center strike, or even an unusual composition. The key is finding one with these rare errors, especially in top condition. Now, before you go flipping over every 1979 penny you find, let me warn you, most of them are worth exactly 1 cent. But the rare ones? That's where things get interesting. In 2023, one of these rare 1979 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies sold for $9 million at an auction. Why? Because collectors go crazy for rare mistakes and unique features. It's like finding a misprinted $100 bill, except way cooler because it's history in your hands. And let me tell you, I learned this the hard way. A few years back, I was rolling up my pennies to cash in at the bank, and I noticed one that looked kind of weird. Super shiny, slightly off-center, just different. But instead of checking it out, I tossed it in with the rest. A few months later, I read about a similar coin selling for thousands of dollars. To this day, I still wonder, did I accidentally cash in a fortune for a pack of gum? So, what's the lesson here? Check your pennies. That 1979 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could be hiding in your jar of spare change right now. If you find one that looks different, weird, or just too perfect, do yourself a favor, hold on to it, research it, or take it to a coin expert. And if you want more tips on spotting valuable coins, tricks to selling them, and strategies to turn your spare change into real money, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because trust me, you don't want to be the person who accidentally spends a $9 million penny on a vending machine snack. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some spare change to buy a soda, and bam, you find a penny. No big deal, right? But what if I told you that penny could be worth $6 million? Yeah, you heard that right. $6 million. Today, we're talking about the 1976 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, a rare and valuable find that could turn your pocket change into a fortune. So, grab your coin jars because you're going to want to check every single penny after this video. Now, before you start flipping over every penny in sight, let's break down why this tiny copper coin is making headlines. The 1976 Lincoln penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which, fun fact, didn't use a mint mark back then. So, if you've got one without a little D or S below the date, congrats, you're off to a good start. But here's where it gets interesting. Most of these pennies are just regular pocket change, but a rare error version exists. One that was struck on a leftover silver planchet from the bicentennial quarter series. That's right. The same metal used for those special 1976 quarters somehow ended up in the penny-making process. Oops. But that oops turned into a jackpot for one lucky collector when a 1976 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny sold for a jaw-dropping $6 million at auction. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, what? I've probably spent one of these on a vending machine. Trust me, you're not alone. One time, I found an old penny in my car cup holder. Got super excited, only to realize it was just a piece of gum stuck to a nickel. True story.so. How do you know if you've got one of these multi-million-dollar coins? First, check for that no mint mark. Second, see if it has a silvery color instead of the usual copper. If it does, don't freak out just yet. Grab a magnet. If the penny sticks, it's not silver, just steel, from 1943. But that's another story. If it doesn't, you might be holding a life-changing coin. Alright folks, the moral of the story? Never underestimate your spare change. That penny in your junk drawer could be worth more than a mansion. Now, if you love learning about hidden treasures in your pocket, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll keep bringing you the latest coin tips, rare finds, and secret strategies to help you turn your change into serious cash. And hey, who knows? Maybe next time, I'll be telling a story about your $6 million penny. Imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions, maybe looking for the remote, and bam, you find a dusty old penny. Most people would toss it in a jar, right? But what if that little copper coin was actually worth $9 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A single 1969 Lincoln penny could change your life. Today, we're diving deep into this legendary coin, why it's worth so much, how you can spot one, and of course, the real story behind the price tag. And stick around because I've got a wild personal story about the time I thought I struck it rich with a penny, only to end up with a heartbreak and a very awkward conversation with a coin dealer. Alright, first things first, what's so special about the 1969 Lincoln penny? Normally, Denver minted pennies from 1969 are not rare. In fact, the US Mint cranked out over 4 billion of them. So why would anyone pay millions for one? Here's where it gets juicy. There was a major minting error, and it created a double die obverse, DDO. This means Lincoln's face, the lettering, and even the date look slightly duplicated, almost like he's got a shadow following him. It's one of the rarest and most sought-after errors in coin collecting history. And when I say valuable, I mean insanely valuable. A high-grade 1969 DDO penny was once valued at $9 million in a private transaction. Let that sink in. Someone literally became a multimillionaire because of a penny. Now, before you go flipping over every 1969 penny in your house, I have to break some bad news. Most of them are not worth millions. The valuable ones have to be the exact double die variety, verified by a grading service like PCGS or NGC. And here's where my personal story comes in. A few years ago, I was convinced I had one of these rare pennies. I found a 1969 with a weird-looking date, got all excited, and immediately ran to a coin shop, thinking I was about to retire early. I strutted in there like I was on Shark Tank, ready to negotiate. The dealer took one glance, gave me a look and said, "Buddy, this is just a really bad scratch. I've never known embarrassment like that." I walked out of that store 2 cents poorer because I parked at a meter. Always verify before celebrating. So what's the takeaway here? If you have a 1969 penny, check for the double die obverse. If you think you have one, get it authenticated by a trusted grading service, and if you don't, no worries. There are tons of valuable coins out there waiting to be discovered. If you found this video helpful, or at least mildly entertaining, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got more coin hunting secrets, hidden treasures, and crazy stories coming your way. And hey, let me know in the comments, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found? Thanks for watching, and happy hunting. Imagine finding a penny that could buy you a mansion, a luxury car, or even an island. Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly what we're talking about today. The 1967 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, a little copper coin that, brace yourself, has been valued at a jaw-dropping $7 million. That's right, $7 million for a penny. If that doesn't make you want to check your couch cushions right now, I don't know what will. All right, let's break it down. Why is this penny worth so much? First off, 1967 was a unique year for U.S. coins. There were no mint marks on any pennies that year due to a temporary halt by the U.S. Mint to discourage coin hoarding. So if you've got a 1967 penny without a mint mark, that's totally normal. But here's where it gets interesting. This specific 1967 penny isn't just any old pocket change. It has a rare minting error that makes it incredibly valuable. We're talking about a double die obverse, which means the lettering and Lincoln's profile have slight doubling, making it super rare. Plus, the condition matters. This $7 million beauty is in pristine, uncirculated condition. So if you've been using your 1967 pennies to scratch lottery tickets, you might want to rethink your life choices. Now, let me tell you a quick personal story. A few years ago, I found a 1967 penny in my grandfather's old coin jar. For a split second, I thought I had hit the jackpot. My brain was already spending that imaginary fortune. Beach house? Check. Dream vacation? Check. Lifetime supply of tacos? Check. Then I looked closer, no doubling, a little scratch on Lincoln's face, and well, let's just say I still drive my 15-year-old car. But hey, a lesson was learned. Always check your change because you never know. Conclusion. So what's the takeaway here? That tiny piece of copper jingling in your pocket could be life-changing. Grab a magnifying glass, check your 1967 pennies, and who knows, you might just be sitting on a multi-million-dollar fortune. And if you do find one, well, don't forget who gave you the tip. If you love learning about rare coins and how everyday change can turn into serious cash, hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more treasure hunting tips coming your way, and trust me, you won't want to miss them. Until next time, keep those eyes peeled and those coins flipping.